True is the debut studio album by Swedish DJ Avicii. It was released on September 13, 2013 through PRMD Music and Universal Island. True features collaborations with American guitarist and producer Nile Rodgers, country musician Mac Davis, Einziger of American rock band Incubus, American soul singer Aloe Blacc, singer and songwriter Dan Tyminski of bluegrass band Alison, Krauss and Union Station, singer and songwriter Sterling Fox, and American singer and songwriter Adam Lambert. Avicii said that sonically, the album would move away from his electronic dance and house music sound on previous records, by incorporating elements of other genres such as country music. True was preceded by the release of the Blacc-assisted Wake Me Up, that topped several charts around the world, and You Make Me, which features vocals from Swedish artist Salem Al Fakir. The album has been commercially successful, peaking within the top 10 of at least 10 countries. True debuted at number 2 in the United Kingdom during September 2013, and has subsequently re-peaked at number 2 in February 2014. On March 24, 2014, Avicii released a remixed version of the album, titled True. A 2-disc edition, comprising the standard 10-track True alongside the remix album was released featuring a brand new cover, on June 2014. Background: Swedish producer Avicii had been making music since he began remixing and producing tracks in his own bedroom at the age of 18. He started life as a professional musician in 2007, and after numerous collaborations with other record producers and DJs, such as John Dalby Currency CK and David Guetta, Avicii reached international mainstream success with his 2011 single Levels, which reached the top 10 in over 15 countries and topped the charts in Norway, Hungary and Sweden. Subsequent releases Silhouettes, which charted in 11 countries, and I Could Be the One, which charted in 24 countries, achieved similar popularity and sales before Avicii entered the recording studio in late 2012 to record a debut studio album to follow up his mainstream success. Composition: Since starting work on a studio album, Avicii has stated on multiple occasions that the material on the album will not be a replication of his earlier hits like Levels and Silhouettes, but rather an experimental and more synthetic record. In his own words, he wanted to bring disruption to the electronic dance music scene, which he described as half-stuck. Speaking to music magazine Billboard about the new album, Avicii said in response to an earlier conflict at the Ultra Music Festival that he wanted to bring 15 minutes of something fresh to break Ultra up. In context to the listeners' reactions to the heavy bluegrass and country music influences, he additionally stated, "We knew people would be provoked." He further explained that True Away is about me being true to my sound but also to my own influences and musical preferences. For me it will be successful if it resonates with people no matter how many. It's what I stand for, so whoever loves it loves what I love. That's what fans are to me. Critical reception: True received generally positive reviews. At Metacritic, which assigns a rating out of 100 to reviews from mainstream critics, the album received an average score of 69, based on 7 reviews, which indicates generally positive reviews. Philip Sheburn from Spin magazine gave the album a positive review. In his review of True, Sheburn said Avicii inhabits his newfound country pop shtick so naturally that you may wonder whether he's somehow internalized Ralph Lauren's aesthetic, or whether going country was part of the business plan all along. It may be a sprawling hodgepodge, but all this works more often than you'd expect. Rolling Stone's Karen Gans also gave the album a positive review, complimenting the diversity of the guest musicians. In her review, Gans said Dan Tyminski of Union Station sings the grand Appalachian stomper Hey Brother, and Imagine Dragons penned Heart Upon My Sleeve. True saves room for 2 funky disco jams featuring banging diva vocals from Audra May and Adam Lambert. All of this proves that Avicii's new sound is much more than a page from Moby's playbook. Pop Mattis's Francesca Desi Orga agreed, saying that Avicii takes his listeners on a journey with True. It is an album that takes one type of music and molds it into something completely different, allowing Avicii to cement himself as one of the best DJs in the world. However, David Jeffries of AllMusic gave the album a mixed positive review, saying country music and bluegrass keep winding their way into the album, and while it rarely smacks of a gimmick, these rustic numbers often evolve into EDM around their drum machine introducing choruses, as if True was a remix album commission Avicii picked up while vacationing in Appalachia. In the end, it's an admirable and interesting effort where the highs offset the lows, but those with Molly in hand and dancing shoes on feet should just cool their jets and get ready to sit a spell. Blue Sullivan's review for Slant magazine only awarded the album 0.5 out of 5 stars, saying that fans will likely write this off as churlish hatred of pop EDM, but there are other artists that are more than capable of arousing genuine dance floor thrills. Dead May 5, Afrojack, and Cascade are all capable of spinning sinuously lush, sexy, and even surprising music. Moreover, these artists' best material convincingly conveys something Avicii's work rarely does, a bone-deep love of this music and a palpable desire to create art their beloved EDM ancestors would be proud of. Promotion. In April 2013, Avicii released a 60-minute promotional mix of new album material on the online audio distribution platform SoundCloud. The mix featured several unreleased tracks from the album like Wake Me Up, and songs featuring Dan Reynolds and Mac Davis, and has been played over 3 million times. According to Billboard, the album was due for release on September 17, 2013. Ultra Music Festival. Avicii performed at the 2013 Ultra Music Festival on March 22, 2013, revealing nearly 40 minutes of new album material from True, to which he received a mixed negative response from critics, fans and media alike. The new material, which incorporated bluegrass and country music elements, and included live performances from Aloe Blacc, backed by a banjo and kazoo, saw a negative response at the festival, whose attendees criticized the DJ for bringing the experimental material to a high-profile electronic dance music festival. Some fans and following musicians also took to social media sites like Twitter to bash the performance. Dubstep electro house musician Jake Stankovic, better known as Killer Noise, tweeted, "What are the similarities and differences between Avicii and Al Walser? Discuss." Producer Tommy Sunshine tweeted, "I just listened to it Avicii's at Ultra Music Festival main stage set. Did he jump the EDM shark?" However, fans and high-profile musicians were quick to support Avicii and praise his performance at the Ultra Music Festival. Russian producer Zed said in response to a negative comment about the performance, "I only heard a couple of those country-sounding tracks and I really liked them." Avicii's manager Ash Pornery stated on Twitter, "So proud of it Avicii set it at Ultra Music. Everyone will understand in a week. Stay calm and keep hyping the album." On March 26, Avicii went on Facebook to respond to the negative reaction to the Ultra Music Festival performance. He stated in an extended response, "We wanted to make a statement, and there's really no better place to make one than UMF main stage. People will soon see what it's all about. My music is open to anyone who wants to listen to it and I will always stay true to my sound. Love you all who listen with open hearts and open minds. These past few months I've been so lucky to have had the chance to work with so many talented artists and to bring them there when I launched the album was amazing and they all did an amazing job." True Reveal. On the 13th August 2013, Avicii premiered his True Reveal project. Avicii's management set up an experiment, featuring a glass cube, of which was surrounded by large speakers, and in the cube contained the album artwork for True. Twitter users could tweet a true meaning about themselves using the hashtag #TrueReveal, and the more users who did this, the more volume of Avicii's second single from the album was directed at the glass cube, until it would break, releasing the album artwork. The experiment ended on August 14, 2013, at 3:29 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The experiment achieved over 100,000 tweets at 3:13, but the glass still did not break. A crane was called in and a worker threw the hook of the crane into the glass, breaking it, and revealing the album cover. Later on, the second part of True Reveal was announced. Track Ambassador is a project that aims to make 15-second teasers on Instagram to each song on the album. The most voted teasers will be selected as the official ones and the creators will be involved in the making of the official full music video. The winners were revealed on September 17, 2013. True, on February 17, 2014, manager Ash Pornery confirmed through his Facebook, Twitter and Instagram pages that Avicii is due to release a remix edition of True, containing a remake of all the tracks in True remixed by Avicii himself. However, Heart Upon My Sleeve was not remixed. On February 20, it was confirmed that the remix edition was due to be released on March 24, 2014. Singles: Wake Me Up was released as the lead single from True on June 17, 2013. The song was first premiered on Pete Tong's show on BBC Radio 1 on June 14, 2013. The song, which features vocals from Aloe Blacc, has so far charted on 20 national singles charts, peaking at number 1 in 10 countries, including the Australian ARIA charts and the Swedish Sveriges Toplistan charts. The song has also peaked at number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100. You Make Me, featuring vocals from Swedish soul pop singer Salem Al Fakir, was revealed as the album's second single on August 16, 2013, when it received its worldwide radio premiere on Pete Tong's BBC Radio 1 dance music show. The single was released in Australia and New Zealand on August 30, 2013 and was scheduled in the United Kingdom for September 15, 2013, a day before the album's release in that region. The song, so far, has charted within the top 40 in several countries including the Netherlands, Germany, Australia and Ireland. Notably, the single has peaked at number 1 in Avicii's home country of Sweden, the top 5 in the United Kingdom, and at number 44 on the Canadian Hot 100. Hey Brother was serviced to radio on October 9, 2013 as the album's third single in Australia, and on October 1, 2013 in Denmark. On October 28, 2013, it was released as the album's third single in Germany, Switzerland and Austria. It will be released to US AAA radio on November 18, 2013. Addicted to You impacted Australian radio on November 27, 2013 as the album's fourth single. Addicted to You had a lyric video release on Avicii's VEVO page on the 24th of January, 2014. Lay Me Down was released as the fifth single from True. It was released to Australian radio on April 21, 2014. Track listing. Notes: A. Signifies co-producer, remix album/CD 2 of 2 disc edition, personnel, vocals, Adam Lambert, Aloe Blacc, Audra May, Blondfire, Dan Tyminski, Lenny Henriksen, Karen Maria Rsted, Salem Al Fakir, Sterling Fox, Instruments, Mac Davis a Euro guitar, Peter Dyer a Euro keyboards, Talkbox, Mikey Einziger a Euro guitar, Nile Rodgers a Euro guitar, production, Tim Bargeling a Euro producer, mixer, Stuart Hawkes a Euro mastering, Arash Pornery a Euro co-producer, charts, weekly charts, True album, True Avicii by Avicii remix album, year-end charts, certifications, release history, references.